The Patterson Foundation
strengthens people, organizations, and communities by focusing on issues that address mutual aspirations,
foster wide participation, and encourage learning and sharing.
Welcome to Beyond the Blog, a podcast of the Patterson Foundation. Hi, I'm Kiara Lewis, the Patterson Foundation's Leadership Support Coordinator, and your host today as we dive into the rehoming of 7 Patriot Plaza testimony tablets, which were given to 6 local organizations in the Suncoast. A meaningful gift that was celebrated on February 19th at the Echoes of Valor, a Patriot Plaza Luncheon. Joining me for a conversation to understand the meaning behind this series of meaningful gifts is Victoria Finley, Patriot Plaza's initiative lead. Victoria, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Kiara. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. So, Victoria, we're going to dive right in, starting with, for those who haven't been to Patriot Plaza, never heard of it, wondering what in the world is that, can you please share what Patriot Plaza is in like a sentence or two?
Sure. Patriot Plaza is, first of all, nestled in the heart of the Sarasota National Cemetery, which is on State Route 72, just east of I-75 by a few miles. And the plaza, Patriot Plaza, is an iconic outdoor American military museum with a unique collection of commissioned public art, which includes mosaics, bronze sculptures, and a one-of-a-kind embedded Berghaus star projection map, which is really awesome. In addition to that, it holds a world-class collection of military photojournalism that has been uniquely displayed in Georgia marble, white Georgia marble, and it's just beautiful. In addition to that, it is an amphitheater, and the architecture provides shade and seats, and it is art in itself that points to and underlines the purpose behind Patriot Plaza, which in 3 short phrases is to honor veterans, inspire patriotism, and embrace freedom. That's Patriot Plaza.
And as people hear that, I think the first thing that might come to their mind is that this is only for veterans, only for people in the military, only for military families. Is that true? Is Patriot Plaza meant to be a place only for those who have some type of tie to the military or veterans?
We did an event there last year, the 10th anniversary of Patriot Plaza, and one of the guest families that came are immigrants from France. And the little girl who attended with her mom and dad are friends of mine. And the little girl is 10 years old, and they came to the United States when she was 5 years old. And so most of her life now, half of her life now, she's a little bit older, has been in the United States. And when she attended the Patriot Plaza 10th anniversary on the grounds there, she was so moved and so proud to be becoming an American. They have no American military history as veterans or active service in their family. They are French immigrants. But there she is, becoming an American citizen with her family, and she was so proud of her adopted country. I think that's a great example of the breadth and the depth and the width and the height of the impact of Patriot Plaza. It is for all who want to honor veterans who have provided the freedom that we embrace and to inspire patriotism for one and all who enjoy the freedoms in this country.
Thank you for sharing that wonderful testimony of proving that Patriot Plaza really is a place for all. A beloved aspect of Patriot Plaza is that photojournalistic art that you are talking about. So one piece of art is known as Testimonies, which is going to be the majority of our conversation today. So if you would please, can you describe what exactly is Testimony? What is the story that it tells, the voices that it reflects?
Well, first of all, the Testimonies collection was artistically designed and then installed at the plaza to mimic almost like a living room setting, or in a gallery, an art gallery, where there might be benches where you can sit and reflect upon the art. And that's the Testimonies collection, the walkway of the Testimonies on the pavers located at the plaza. And there are 16 different unique photographs of military journalism that speak to service and family and sacrifice in one way or another. And those images are complemented by an illustration and by words to speak to the one word of each tablet. For instance, one of the words of the tablet would be courage, another would be integrity. Another would be support or legacy or morale or resilience. And there's a theme to each one of the testimonies. The testimonies were artistically displayed to endure the weather, but to be beautiful and to patina along with the weather and the environment in Georgia white marble. And that white marble it complements and coordinates with the headstones of the veterans that are resting on the hallowed grounds of the Sarasota National Cemetery. So it's an encompassing picture. It's an encompassing piece of art that envelops the visitor, envelops the viewer to be at home for a moment with that piece of art and how it speaks to you.
Thank you for sharing that context. And from the research I was doing, I do know that as beautiful as the testimony tablets are, over time, a few of the pieces needed to be replaced. So out of abundance of caution, the manufacturer replaced all the laminated glass tablets. However, some of them were already still in pretty good, pristine condition, which begged the question of what should we do with these pieces? What should be done with these pieces while staying true to the mission of Patriot Plaza? Victoria, could you please enlighten us on how did the Patterson Foundation go about answering such a huge and significant question of what do we do with these tablets in a way that could be meaningful?
So there's 16 testimonies tablets that are along those pavers. And so all of them were replaced, but 7 of them were in perfect condition that simply needed to be refurbished in a new display case to be rehomed. And, deep in the heart of the Patterson Foundation is that giving and that sharing and that outreach of its initiatives. And Patriot Plaza is unique because it's a capital initiative. And there it is. It's a building, it's pavers, there it is for posterity. And so part of that is the heartbeat of Patriot Plaza, which reverberates out into the community. But for all these years, for 10 years, people had to go to the Sarasota National Cemetery to visit Patriot Plaza. And people can still do that. It's open 365 days a year from sunrise to sunset, and welcome to all of our community and visitors. But now the rehoming of these 7 well-conditioned testimonies are now out in the community. So the reverberation of the heart and the art of Patriot Plaza is no longer isolated to State Route 70 at Sarasota National Cemetery. It now is displayed in several nonprofit agencies across our community.
Thank you for sharing that. And I just want to emphasize to those who are listening, TPF didn't just pick any organization to give these meaningful gifts to, but the recipients, to be eligible, had to meet 2 key criteria. First, they had to provide a valuable service to our community and have a program that in a meaningful way honors veterans. So now I think would be the perfect time, Victoria, for you to please share who were those 6 organizations to receive a tablet and what were the tablet words that they received.
We'll start with the Community Foundation of Sarasota County, which is an important partner in what we're doing with the posterity and the perpetuity of Patriot Plaza. Community Foundation stewards the endowment for the capital maintenance of the plaza. So we'll start there. And their tablet that they received and now beautifully is displayed in their newly remodeled office on Fruitville Road is called Morale. And Morale just fits beautifully with what the Community Foundation has done over 45 years of Season of Sharing and being present in our community. It's just magnificent. So that's Morale at the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. Goodwill, Manasota was the recipient of Integrity. And integrity is an important part of what the Goodwill Manasota's Veterans Services, Support Services does. They have a depth and a reach within our community for those in need, and they do it with integrity and dignity. It's a beautiful piece that rests in their facility. Empath Health, Tidewell Hospice, and Tidewell Foundation. Empath Health is unique because they receive 2. They received 2 tablets. So one rests at Tidewell Hospice Administration Office, and theirs is entitled Support. Now, we didn't name them for each agency. That was the name of the tablet of the testimonies that was originally installed at Patriot Plaza. But support works so beautifully when you think about what Tidewell Hospice does for our community and for our community family members who are taking care of people. And so they receive support. And then Tidewell Foundation received Legacy tablet. And it certainly is a legacy when people make a gift to the Tidewell Foundation in honor of their loved ones who had received support during their time of need. The Sarasota Military Academy, which is a public charter school here in Sarasota, received Courage. I would say it takes a lot of courage to be a student and do well. And I think it takes a lot of courage to be a teacher of children in this day and age. And we come together and we see it through and we brave the waters. So they receive Courage. The Ringling School of Art and Design received Resilience. And it certainly takes a lot of resilience to see your vision come to pass and to do it honoring veterans, which they have a magnificent Student Veteran Association at Ringling School of Art and Design. And finally, the University of South Florida, Sarasota Manatee, they received Sacrifice. And the Veterans Support Services over at USF Sarasota Manatee has been really establishing themselves as a go-to place for our veterans that have finished their tour of duty, their responsibility and commission, and want to go on to earn a secondary degree. And it takes a lot of sacrifice to do that because they're usually past that point of graduating high school and they're adults and needing to be adult earners and adult learners. And Sarasota Manatee does that. So there's a lot of sacrifice involved there.
Well, thank you for beautifully tying not only the journey of how the rehoming went, but the words each recipient was given and also why. So once again, just demonstrating TPF's intentionality. It wasn't just, here's a tablet, but a lot of thought went into selecting those organizations, but also selecting the words that best describes or demonstrate the work that they do every day to support veterans. So thank you for that beautiful response, Victoria. To give a bit of a timeline approach to the conversation, from 2022 to 2024 is when the rehoming of the different tablets happening, with the last one happening in late 2024 at the Community Foundation of Sarasota with the tablet Morale. Then fast forward to February 2025, which for us was just a week ago, to express TPF's gratitude to each of the tablet recipient. Each organization was invited to join us in a meaningful celebratory luncheon. What was special for you, Victoria, about the Echoes of Valor luncheon?
Several years ago, in fact, many years ago now that I think about it, when Patriot Plaza was being constructed, the Patterson Foundation did a campaign throughout our region to build awareness and interest in the soon coming Patriot Plaza to the Sarasota National Cemetery. It was around the years of 2013, 2014, before the plaza opened. And at that time, I was a part of that. I was invited to be a part of the celebratory events and different things for the opening and during Legacy of Valor. And so I've been watching Patriot Plaza come into being all these years and establish itself in the community, establish itself and doing that beautiful patina of being a part of the development of Sarasota National Cemetery and our veteran community in Sarasota Manatee. And so it's kind of meaningful to me because as I came into Patriot Plaza with the Patterson Foundation being the initiative lead, and then coming at the end of the rehoming of the 7 tablets across the community, we decided to have a celebratory event. And interestingly enough, we named it Echoes of Valor. And as we prepared for Echoes of Valor luncheon, I really started thinking about Legacy of Valor and how we really campaign to show there is a legacy of valor that is important as part of the fabric, not only of our community, but of our nation and what the American military community needed from the rest of us. You know, at any given time, there's only 1% of Americans that stand watch on active duty for the rest of us. And at any given time, there's about 6% of our community's population across the nation that are veterans. So that's it's important. It's a unique group to honor and echo valor out of. And so these 6 agencies that have taken the responsibility, yes, it was a gift from the Patterson Foundation, no cost to those agencies. And each tablet was beautifully refurbished and just in a display case that fit their space. And it's just magnificent. But it's more than a gift. It's a responsibility to host that with dignity and grace and to share it with their constituents and visitors to their location in permanence. And so to do that is a responsibility. And I just loved how we circled back around when all 7 tablets had been rehomed and positioned and came together as a community, the 100 some odd individuals that joined that luncheon, and we echoed out that legacy of valor, because it really is a legacy now to have moved Patriot Plaza's art and heart out of just the National Cemetery across our community in those 7 locations.
Thank you for sharing that. It was, as we're speaking, you'll definitely see pictures appear on the screen that kind of give you a glimpse into the special occasion that happened on February 19th to continue to celebrate and recognize the different individuals in the room during the Echoes of Valor luncheon. But now that all the 7 tablets have successfully been rehomed, and as we wrap up our conversation, can you please share in your perspective, Victoria, how was the entire journey of rehoming the Patriot Plaza testimony tablets a demonstration of TPS value of undertaking philanthropic work in ways others are not doing, cannot do, or will not do?
Well, it reverberated across all of those statements or all of those values because it was a bumpy journey. It was during the years where we were recovering from a nationwide and a global pandemic. It took resilience, one of our tablets. It took sacrifice. It took a lot of support. And in some cases, it took some courage to get some of the work done. There was a team of people that needed to come together and take hold of their part. We had vendors that were a piece of this, Key Glass and our owner's rep that takes care of us, development logistics group. There were so many pieces that needed to come together in order to properly execute this task. So it wasn't simple. And I also think that process ensconced in the minds and the responsibility of those 6 agencies across those 7 locations, the importance and the honor that it is to be able to host a piece of artwork from Patriot Plaza.
Thank you for sharing. And as people visit the 6 different agencies, Victoria, and see one of the testimony tablets with the words support, legacy, integrity, sacrifice, courage, resilience, or morale, what feeling or takeaway do you hope they walk away with?
I hope that they, for a moment in time, remember to take away when they're there and they read the words and they see the illustration and they see the photograph of family, of service, when they see the angst and the joy on the faces of the people that are captured in those moments of time, because that's what those photographs are, moments of time of American military history from, a great variety of walks of life and interactions in the service of our country, that they walk away and they honor veterans, that they walk away and they've been inspired in their patriotism, and they walk away being grateful enough where they embrace their freedom with gratitude.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Victoria. Thank you for sharing that, for joining me today. Listeners, we encourage you to do a couple of things. We hope after listening to this, definitely take a drive out to see Patriot Plaza live in action there. If you're not able to drive out, please definitely take advantage of the virtual tour. There's a QR code in the screen that you can scan and see the video that was made that walks you through Patriot Plaza virtually, or do both for sure. And we encourage you to continue to learn more and stay tuned by visiting thepattersonfoundation.org.